And so, we have reached that point again. It is this game's version of Chinese New Year, which means that not only will we get to see fancy mochi and the impressive decorations as well, but that also means that someone who has an animal on top of their helmet will be accompanied by an actual animal. And it also means that, as is the tradition with Chinese New Year, that we get to see what the new animal will be. And so this year, we'll be certainly be getting a bull run, as it were. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world. Matthias Griffin back with you for this special bonus video for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, as we are here with our Warrior of Light / Darkness Shinji Okuri, here in Limsa to celebrate the 2021 edition of Heavensturn. And so, as is normally the case with this sort of event, we are going to be initially engaging in one particular activity, but then there's going to be more to it after that. So, you'll get to see how it all unfolds. So, without further ado, what do you say we go ahead and speak with the guy known as the Ushi Bugyo, and we'll go ahead and take on his level 15 quest entitled Steering Clear of Trouble. The Ushi Bugyo cannot help but notice you're noticing the figure adorning his helmet. Hello there. Excuse me, sir, but are you by chance an adventurer? Yes, only one so well-traveled would dress in such a peculiar manner. What are you talking about? I'm dressed in Far Eastern attire. This is an aura from the Far East, in case you weren't aware. Though I suppose some might argue it is my gauze which make for a spectacle in these lands. Perhaps introductions are in order before I am given further offense. I am the Ushi Bugyo, and I am come from the Far East to share with these good people the traditions of Heavensturn. The Eosians believe that at year's end, the gods choose one among their number to serve next as a herald of good fortune, is that right? In the Far East, it is not a god, but one of 12 great beasts that is chosen. And this year, it is the mighty Ushi. I believe the locals here know it as an ox. If you are unfamiliar with this most sacred of animals, you need but look upon the resplendent finger adorning my kabuto. And quite a looker it is. Indeed, Heavensturn is a most wondrous celebration, the capstone of our festivities being the pounding of rice. Yeah, you mean mochi, yes? Or I pounded my fair share. Our rice is to be boiled, so not pounded, but no. We've been there, done that, many times over. Ah, a man of culture, I see. I have heard you adventurers are a worldly sort, and you are most certainly living up to your reputation. Wishing to make the most of this momentous occasion, we receive permission for the Adventurers Guild to have the rice pounded not by a Cyclops, but a Gozu, which bears a striking resemblance to the divine beast which heralds the coming year. Everything appeared to be proceeding apace, but the pounding was set to begin ages ago, and not even a morsel of mochi has found its way here. Uh-oh. When last I spoke with the Mochi Daikon, he assured me the pounding was nearly complete. Something has gone amiss, I am certain of it. Good sir, might I prevail upon you to go and visit the pounding site? Duty demands I remain here to inform as many of as possible of the upcoming festivities. Alright, leave it to us. 1,000 blessings upon you. I eagerly await your return and the delivery of our Advent Mochi. Yeah, and his friend is very excited too, Mr. Wakamaru. Oh my, it would appear Wakamaru here wishes to accompany you. Though but a young calf, Wakamaru is surprisingly astute. I assure you he will not be a hindrance. Yeah, let's hope you're right about that. The Mochi Daikon should be at the pounding site to the southeast of the Zephyr Gate. Alright, then that's where we shall go. Yeah, let's follow Wakamaru to get there. It's not often you end up in a situation where you actually go off camera in a cutscene. Usually it's the person you're talking to who does that. Yeah, we'll just run over here and make our way out to Middle Lano. See, as you may have noticed, this is one of the traditional ways of doing a fate where you must engage in combat in order to ensure your safety and in order to ensure success. Now I'm going to slip into my Red Mage gear for safety purposes. Because if you've ever played this particular fate in the past, you will know for a fact that it is insanely dangerous. Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, even getting close to the target is a challenge. Yeah, just getting close is a problem. The main focus here is to weaken the living mochi in such a way that we can be able to not run into danger. But yeah, they throw a ton of crap at you. Thankfully, it's not the one where you have to run into danger willingly and then run out of it as fast as you can while trying to pick up as much mochi. Yeah, so there's the Gozu that they were talking about. Whoa! Okay, getting a little dangerous here. Oh, gotta get out of the way of that. Cut you a little. Then we shall try and... Whoa! Yeah, the main focus is to get the Big Ugly down. But the Gozu can hurt you too, so you have to be careful for him. Yeah, slowly but surely, as you keep eating up the living mochi, it'll get smaller and smaller. Oh, it's pressing the wrong button. I forgot, this is not the HUD I'm using for anyone else that I use who plays on Red Mage normally. Alright, it's down. So now we gotta clean up what's left. And they're all taken care of. So we were successful, we got the maximum reward, so that's pretty much all there is to that. So let's head on back to Limsa. Alright, so we have made it back here to Limsa, so we'll let the Ushibugyo know that we were successful. So sometime later, you are returned, but what of the Mochi Daikon? And where is Wakamaru? Yeah, speaking of, and even the Daikon is here. We are here, Ushibugyo, and none worse for the wear, all things considered. Yeah, you made it back. So yeah, let's tell you exactly what happened. And sometime later that night, beset by sentient mochi? Having swallowed this year's reserves, mortar and all, I can but imagine what a terrible creature you faced. Would that this were the only time it was necessary to overcome such travails. No doubt you remember last year's celebration of the rat, and the monster born from the waters of Daitanzan's soul spring. I believe that a sliver mochi monstrosity somehow survived, have found its way to our supplies as anyone's guess. Happens all the time. But that is neither here nor there. Thanks to your efforts, the beast is no more, and we have more than enough advent cakes for our celebration. Yeah, and Wakamaru approves. And so do we. As a small token of my appreciation, I offer you this, a kabuto much like mine own, adorned with the likeness of the majestic ox. But before you leave, might I be so bold as to ask a favor of you? I wish to deliver treats to as many of the residents here in Limsa as possible, and I suspect you know these streets far better than I. What an excellent idea! Yeah, Wakamaru likes that. If you're up to the task, we can discuss the details of my plan further. Well, thank you very much. And thank you to you, Mr. Mochi Daikon. And so with that, we will accept our 3,360 experience points, as well as the choice of the colored crimson or black Ushi Kabuto. So we'll take the black one, just because Shinji being Warrior of Darkness and all that. And we also earned the achievement Happy Moo Year. But as the Ushibugyo suggested, there is more to be done as far as helping out with Heavensturn this year, so we will go and do exactly that by speaking with the Bugyo again to take on our next level 15 quest entitled Bully for Mochi. The expectant look in the Ushibugyo's eyes can mean only one thing. Ready to deliver Advent cakes to the masses, are you? Good. The task shouldn't prove unduly difficult. I imagine the people will only be too happy to receive the treats. If you could take yourself to these 4 locations and hand them to passers-by, that should suffice to spread word of our festivities. Yeah, let's make Mr. Wakamoto very happy. And Wakamoto would accompany you once again, it would seem. Perfect. With him at your side, your intentions will be plain for all to see. Now then, I shan't keep you any longer. Go forth and let the good people know that Heavensturn is upon us. So he imparts upon me some Advent cakes. And Wakamoto is all set to go. So he will begin heading off to the 4 various locations that we can go and deliver mochi to. And so, before we go, I would be remiss if I did not dress appropriately. So yeah, just to give you an idea of what this thing looks like on someone like Shinji. Yeah, it's not so easy to see in the middle of the night, but dawn is coming, so it'll probably be a little easier to see what's going on exactly, but just to give you an idea of what this thing looks like on Shinji. So, shall we go and do as the Ushibugyo asked us to do? So let's start by going over to this spot, since it's so conveniently close by. And we'll bide our time and wait for people to show up. So yeah, here comes Wakamoto to keep us company. And our first customer is on their way. It's Captain Rosswin of the Sanguine Sirens. What's this then? Alright, Heavenstown. Let's have one of them cakes then. Yeah, she doesn't seem to be so enthusiastic. Actually, make it 2. I know someone who might be sore to miss out. Alright then, 2 it is. And as she takes them, here comes Fisherman's Guildmaster Wabalago. Ah, if it isn't the ever-ravishing Rosswin. Come to secure some celebratory sweets, have you? Wabalago? The hell is he doing sneaking up on folk like that? He is a Lalafell. He does have such an ability to do stealth mode. Oh, I see you not 1 but 2 Advent cakes. If I didn't know better, I'd say you were securing a snack for a significant someone as well. Yeah, with the grin on his face. You got it all wrong. I'm feeling famished, and one cake wouldn't be enough to satisfy me. Is that right? And there I was boldly believing that one was bound for Carver Lane. Now you listen here. You'll see anyone and I'll cut off your blobbing tongue. This be damned. Still fast to fly into a fury, I see. Small wonder you can't reel in a romantic rendezvous. On the leader of the Sanguine Sirens, I'm no interest in such nonsense. Yeah, that caused her to run off. Such senseless stubbornness. If she's not true to her feelings, she'll never catch the fish she fancies. And speak of the devil, look who it is. Carvalan. What have we here? A calf? Ah, but of course, Heavensturn. You must be distributing Advent cakes. If you have some left, I should like to have one. Well, luckily for you, Carvalan, I have a fresh supply. Wait, Carvalan! Someone has already come to collect a cake on your behalf. On my behalf? I do not recall giving such an order to my crew. Well, if it should transpire that they had the forethought to procure one in my stead, then all in well and good. But until such time as this is known, a cake if you please. Alright then. Yeah, might as well give him one anyway there, Wabalago. We do have enough to go around. Oh dear, a situation as sticky, though nowhere near as scrumptious as the cakes. Speaking of which, may I have one too? Of course you can, there, Wabalago. You sure you don't want a second one for Sissy Poo? Or will she get too mad that you brought her one and she didn't bother to go up and get one herself? Yeah, as Wakamaru responds to the situation. Alright, now let's switch over to this side, not far from the main Aetherite here on the upper decks. Here at the aft castle, right in front of Maelstrom Command. As Wakamaru comes to join us. And along comes Commander Rashat Riki of the Maelstrom. Lieutenant Okuri, what a welcome surprise. In the company of a young calf. If you're working with the Far Eastern delegates, then I take it to your Advent cakes. Might I trouble you for one? Of course, Commander. Here you go. Yeah, look how happy she is. Rashat, shouldn't you be at your post? Like, well, the lieutenant was on break, you see, and, yeah, it's Baderon coming from pay a visit from the Drowning Wench. Oh, it's just you, Baderon. Well, thank you not to start me like that. Apologies, Commander. I'm going to help myself. Commander? What is it? Have you something on your mind? It's nothing lost. It still feels strange to call you by your title is all. Is that so? What are you implying? Do you think me unworthy of my station? No, it's just, when I look at you, I still see the spirited young adventurer who was determined to help damn near everyone that stepped in her path. That kind-hearted girl's still there, man, but she's done some growing too. I can't think of anyone better to lead the foreign levy. I'm proud of your loss. I don't know what to say. Yeah, it turns out we get to learn about Commander Riki's backstory somewhat. Any road, you're handing out them cakes, am I right? I'll be much obliged for one. Of course, they're Baderon. It's the least I can do. Yeah, until we meet again there, Baderon. If it's all the same to you, I ask that you keep the conversation private. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to my post. Which, for whatever reason, she runs in the opposite direction. Yeah, Wakamaru's probably like, yeah, she's running the wrong way. But yeah, a little unexpected bonus out of this excursion is that we get to learn about Commander Riki's backstory somewhat. You wouldn't expect that a legitimate adventurer would become one of the primary leaders of a grain company, and yet there she is. Certainly was unexpected, and it was definitely quite the interesting little fact that we got to learn about the commander. So, let's make our way over here, just north of the Drowning Wench, and wait for our next people to arrive. Hey there, Wakamaru. And hey there, Culinarian Guild leader Linksath. What's this now? Let's put in a bit of Heavenhound cheer out here. Well, that means you got Advent cakes to share as well. Oh, of course they're Linksath. Yeah, I know how much of an appreciation you have from these. And hey, look, it's Ninarune who's come to join us from the Kakiran. Linksath! Ninarune was not expecting such an unexpected meeting! Well, if it ain't our trusty helper from last year's festival. Ninarune have much sleep, but Linksath's help is much more helpful. Many readers read the Harbour Herald and many came to taste tasty Advent cakes. Thanks to you, people found newfound respect for Kakirans. What makes us do? Shake your head. Come now, I merely gave me honest opinion on the food, and it was your hard work what won folk over. Linksath not credited himself with enough credit. Without your descriptive descriptions of cakes, people may have never tried them. Well, anyone who appreciates a good treat would have come around eventually, I reckon. But I appreciate your kind words all the same. Yeah, look how happy Ninaroon is. But enough talking talkatively. Ninaroon will feast on Feast of Advent cake. I'm certain you would. There you go there, Ninaroon. Hardworking people work hard to make cakes. Ninaroon think of them as Ninaroon chew on chewy goodness. And I know you'll definitely be enjoying it for sure. A strong sense of duty, that one. Well, I'll be off myself. Need to find a nice quiet spot to enjoy my own morsel. Yeah, you enjoy it there, Linksath. Don't be afraid to bring the other members of the Culinarians Guild too. And so we'll follow our companions to our final destination. Now this one, after having the opportunity to look at all of the people we can meet over the course of this excursion, this one I wanted to save. This last one I was about to go to, I wanted to save for doing last because of the way that it's set up. Because this was the most unexpected result of the 4 encounters. But you'll see that for yourself when we get there. But yeah, I was certainly not expecting the outcome that we would get to bear witness to when we came over here towards Nadak and Vimbeli's, which is home of both the Armorers and Blacksmith's Guild. So you can probably imagine who's going to arrive. And of course, Wakamaru also arrives too. So yeah, not surprisingly, Guildmasters Hananza and her friend Brethael are also here to come and say hello. Just when I thought I heard a peculiar lowing, Brethael, come see, they're handing out Advent cakes. Cake? I'm afraid my stomach couldn't handle it right now. Oh, that's too bad. And then I was thinking your condition had improved. At any rate, might I trouble you for 2? One for me and another for when his stomach's more agreeable. I believe we can do that. Here you go there, Ananta. And then, I would have one as well if I may. Who goes there? Wasn't expecting to see the Admiral here, were you? Admiral! Well, well, if it isn't my esteemed guildmasters, come to partake of Advent cakes as well, have you? We have. We weren't aware you were fond of them too, Admiral. Oh, and as busy as you are, I thought you would have sent someone to collect in your stead. Yeah, it's quite a surprise. These Advent cakes are said to bring good fortune, are they not? I cannot well imagine good fortune will favour those unwilling to make an effort to personally receive it. A sentiment with which we can relate, Admiral. The gods know we crafting folk are superstitious, not? Oh, in case aside, I have to say that just being out here amidst the festivities is doing me good. My head feels clear already. I am glad to hear it. I too enjoy the opportunity to be out here alone. Just another citizen without an armed escort. Marshal Stafferson will have a thing or two to say afterwards, but it is worth it. Now then, if you'd be so kind. Of course, there, Admiral. Here you go. My thanks, and now to find a quiet place to enjoy this in peace. Certainly quite the shock arrival, wasn't it? We should be taking our leave as well. Thank you again for the cake. And so yeah, away they go. Yeah, I wonder if she shows up no matter what, or if she shows up if you've accomplished a certain number of things. I personally don't know myself. Of course, we know from her recent experiences with Shinji that she was willing to allow herself to be killed. If that's what it took to achieve peace with some of the beast tribes. So, back over to the Ushibugyo. Oh, you returned and with far fewer cakes than when you left. In the Far East, it is said the Ushi is the embodiment of honest and hard work, qualities which I see are shared by the adventurers of this land. I have no doubt that this year's Heavensturn will be a rousing success, thanks in no small part to you. And Wakamatsu certainly got to experience that firsthand. And so with that, we'll take our 3,360 experience points plus 10 Magic Prism and Vet Cakes. And so, there we go for a Heavensturn 2021. Of course, if you go over here to the vendors, you will get the opportunity to get the other version of the helmet, as well as this little trinket, a handmade akabeko, which stands on your tabletop. So we will go and get ourselves some of that. Let's look at the other helmet too. And we'll up ourselves to some Zoni, even though Shinji doesn't need it necessarily. But it can be put into the FC chambers, into the FC chests. And so, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Heavensturn 2021, as we showed how we could grab the bull by the horns, as it were, and we're able to get some unexpected greetings from people as we got to hand out advent cakes. Yeah, definitely was quite a fun little surprise for getting to participate in Heavensturn. Of course, it starts out like normal, but then getting to see that was certainly quite the surprise. But I hope for all of you guys that, yeah, it's kind of hard to get the Bugyo and the Wakamatsu all in one shot, and and not that, preferably. That's not how we want to start 2021. But I hope that all of you guys start 2021 on the right foot, on a high note, because let's face it, we all need to start 2021 off on the right foot and on a high note. So, yeah, come out here to Limsa Laminsa, put your life on the line for obtaining the mochi, and then give it out to some people who you would not expect to come across and get quite an awesome experience in so doing. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this special edition of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, and I will see you guys in the new year with... I'm guessing that Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day will come before patch 5.5 comes out, but we're also expecting patch 5.45 as well, which means we're also going to be getting some additional content with that, not the least of which we're going to be returning to the Bozian missions over there, so keep an eye out on Twitch for me doing that. If you don't already follow me on Twitch, please make sure you do, because I have been streaming more there regularly, and I would certainly hope that you'll come and pay me visits on that. So, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Happy New Year to all of you, and until next time, everyone, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.